Thanks for the F Shack. Love Dirty Mike and the boys.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? How you know who we are?
What's this they call it, the podcast?
Morning Good.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, by the way, shout out to Tim's Great Box.
Welcome to Morning Good.
All right, we're talking about, we're with Johnny Salami, we're with Ryan O'Toole. I'm just going to restart the story again. So I was at it, this is a while ago. You asked me if I've ever seen somebody flex a gun on stage. I'm going to speed up really fast to the story. There's a comedy show. There was a white guy who talked black, and he basically, I'm just speeding through it so much.
What does talking black mean?
You know what it means. You know what? I'm not.
I don't know what it means. Do you think you could give me an example?
He was like, yo, my bitch about to do comedy. Shows his gun.
That's how I
in
talk.
his waistband, it says, y'all motherfuckers better laugh. I don't care if them's is real laughs or fake laughs. And we all laughed hysterically because we didn't want to get shot.
So it wasn't even him, it was his girlfriend who was on stage?
Yes. And he wasn't saying, y'all better laugh at me. That is hilarious. The whole audience at gunpoint be like, y'all
That's
motherfuckers
not
better
a bad
laugh at me.
idea.
That'd be awesome.
To just like point it at everyone.
Yeah. Dude, imagine getting heckled. You pull a fucking gun, be like, you want to fucking interrupt the show, motherfucker?
Well, one reason I don't, because I want to do it, I want to get like a fake gun that looks real and bring it to a mic.
That's a great idea.
But then I'm like, well, I wouldn't even, I guess I'd do it at a mic, but I was like, I want to do it at a show, but then I'm like, you never know who's in the crowd. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Or
there's a
what-
fucking Navy SEAL that just...
Like who's gonna shoot first?
Just
type
again,
thing?
bro. I did a show a couple months ago, and these kids in the crowd were like, I knew these were like they were about it, and they were talking shit. They ended up getting in a fight. It was like two groups of people. It was at the pier. They ended up getting in a fight outside afterwards, and I was like, I wouldn't fuck with these people. Like they're sitting up front, and like I'm like, comics were trying to riff with them. Like I could tell right when they walked in. I'm like, these people aren't playing around. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, and like they were fine the whole time. They were fine audience, but like it turned in. Then outside, it was like a 6-on-5, just like brawl on McDougal Street with people getting stomped and like. I'm like, and they were just in the pale. Like I'm like, damn, like they would have.
It's always funny too because as a comic, you're like, I want to stop taking shit from audience members. But then there's the occasion when you're like, you own the show. You do whatever
I'm
you
not
want.
gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna play that.
Well, I was telling you, I had an overcorrection with that because like a couple weeks ago, I was at a show and they were wasted, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna pander. I'm like, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna do my jokes. I'm gonna stop because sometimes they're drunk and you just want to be part of the party.
Yeah.
Just because you want them to like you so much.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I gave Graham Cooper this whole speech. I was like, I'll ruin the show if that means calming them down and letting them know how I feel about
Wait,
it.
is this last night or a couple weeks?
This a couple weeks ago. And then I get on stage and I throw all that at the window. There's like a gay guy. I'm like, I'm going to fucking suck this guy's dick later. Ah! And then I'm like, what are these guys, the drunk in the back? Huh? Let's all get wasted to get just being a complete cartoon character.
Yeah.
And then last night I was like, I'm not letting that happen again. So I overcorrected and flipped out an audience and called the table of women cunts, which was too much.
No, that's textbook, man. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, if they're being cunts, you know what I mean?
But it was one of those where it was like, dude, they were like, so first off, I'm not gonna say the venue because I don't want the owner knowing that I flipped out at a table of women and called them cunts.
Fuck, you think he's fucking listening to this shit?
I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it.
Can I say it?
No, don't say it. It's fine. But
Would you bleep it out if I said
just
it?
don't say it. Just don't say it. Don't say it. It's more effort to put into the episode. Just don't say it. But what happened was this comic.
This is fucking bullshit, dude.
This super Italian
Kim
comic.
Jong good over here, dude.
This Italian comic like brought a bunch of Italians in the show because they knew him from an Italian podcast.
What do they talk like?
They was like, "Yeah, we're gonna see comedy." I don't know how to do a good Italian. They were
I
like,
can't really either.
they were like, Mario Bosco, we seen you on the Italian podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out. And they were awesome. They were fun. They were like a great group of Italians. I was enjoying, those Guidos were perfect. They were beautiful. It was amazing. It was wonderful. But then these four women, what happened was like, they were like just on their phones, which is fine. Like I played with it a little bit and I was like, hey, maybe quiet down back there. And then by like the fifth time, I was just like, you guys are fucking cunts. Like, just no funniness, just totally. And the Italian guys were like, whoa, like they responded that way. They were like, hey.
They felt right at home.
Yeah.
One of them turned around and smacked the girl in the face.
Yeah. No, I think that it goes two ways with Italian guys. I think you either like respect women to like an extreme or you're kind of just like the other. Like I think it goes either way. There's no middle ground.
Yeah, I mean, you might want to like warm it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, well, that's what it was like. I couldn't even like. It's so funny too because sometimes you see comics and you see them like freak out an audience. You're like, Like, come on, look at this amateur over here. And then it happens to you. Because like I had Adam Hamada I was running a show one time. Adam Hamada freaked out in the audience one time. He's like, you guys are the worst fucking audience ever. And he's like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm like,
Where
dude,
was this?
It was I ran a show at So Lost for a little bit. And I was like, dude, for me to ever think that I'm not gonna flip out an audience is insane. So I'm not mad at you for it. It happens.
It's the best, dude.
And then I fucking it was like you just get so mad. And it was like there's this New York thing where there's these girls, they think they're in Sex in the City. And they just walk around and they think they're the only one. They're like, our group is like the group that does things. And we're like, we boys, no thank you. You know, that kind of like attitude. And it was just like constant. And like it came to the point where I took their phone away as like a joke and it was all fun. I was like, no, I'm taking this for the rest of the show. And like that was playful, but then it just turned and I just
Did you rip it out of their hand? How'd you get their phone?
They were like, take it away from me. And I'm like, here's your, just joking.
Were they
around.
pissed when you got hold of it?
No. I was like, I have a lot of dick pics on here. I was like, no, but for real, guys, maybe quiet. Like, I was so polite for so long. And then it just like, and then it's so hard to go back into jokes after that. Like, I literally was like, all right, so anyways, you guys, and they're like, no, you just.
Yeah, it's so hard to like, dude, like tell people you're going to like cause a genocide and then start like telling jokes.
Yeah.
You kind of have to like time it right.
Yeah. And it's also hard to convince the audience that I don't hate women. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just looked at the table. I was like, y'all are cunts. And then
women kind of suck around here, man.
For sure, dude. There's a certain, and I thought it was a Northeast thing, but I think I'm wrong. I think it's only a specific New York thing where
there's like an ego to them.
Yeah, but that's
insane.
There's dudes and there's everyone in New York though. Like there's groups of guys in New York. The way you said that they think like they're that group. There's a million of those groups that are dudes too.
Yeah, there's a parallel.
Yeah. This place is like it's like a fucking amusement park for people that are like kind of escaping shit. You know what I mean? Because you can come here and like create an entirely different identity.
That is so true. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like dress up. And there's like those women, there's like your equivalency is the guy who never. Like, there's a lot of these guys who, like, they weren't a fraternity in college and they never stopped. I still talk like a douche a little bit, but I'm not, like, there's a certain level where, like, I'm, like, bro-y, but I'm not, like, the point where these guys are like, they literally sound retarded and they sound like they're exhaling so much air when they, I don't know how to say, they sound like they're gasping for air when they speak. They're like, you got that.
There's cops that are fucking chads, dude. It's
They're
like, yo, show me your fucking tits. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen the cops around here, dude?
Dude, I saw a cop one time. He had a man bun and he was like, but he had the bald on the side and then the man bun on the top. You know what I'm talking about? And I was like, look, you should be able to do any hairstyle besides that as a cop because you look like a fucking douche.
Like, dude, I've lived in Rhode Island and Boston, and the cops were like super chill, and most of them were like jacked and like fucking metrosexuals, dude.
Yeah.
And then I got here and I was like, dude, what is going on? I think it's just there's so many people, like they need cops.
Yeah, there's every kind of cop.
Dude, there's so many different types of cops here. It's fucking crazy.
I've yet to see a trans cop, but I'd be curious.
That would be fucking hot, dude.
Just wearing heels. Dude. Just giant fake tits.
That'd be cool, actually. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a trans cop.
Pull over.
I don't think I've seen a trans cop either.
No, but it's New York. So we should start that protest.
But that's the thing with New York. Yeah, we should. Well, I think the problem is like there's really not a lot of trans people. That's the thing I think people forget. Like as much as all the trans shit's talked about, it's like there's not like it's not like it's like 30%
I think
of
they're
the
all in
population.
Greenwich Village.
Maybe,
That's why I think everybody's trans now because I just spent all my time in Greenwich Village. Like every other person's transgender.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen some hot trans people, dude.
Yeah.
Like some really good looking trans people.
Yeah.
It's like wild.
Oh, that technology will catch up. We're like,
dude, not even without technology.
Yeah. Well, it is technology.
He's like a guy with a wig on. He's like, dude, they're fucking.
Dude, the last show I did in Long Island City, there were 2 transgenders there, and I was chubbing it up, dude.
Yeah.
Just hard on stage.
It was wild, dude. I thought it was like a legitimate woman. I mean, you know.
We're gonna clip that.
But once her voice came out, I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah.
Did you try getting her number?
No, dude.
Why not?
I'm just not ready yet, man.
You don't think ready for what?
I would have to get to know her a little bit.
Yeah, all right, gentlemen.
Or you want? It's weird. It's so funny seeing guys like that because, like, you know, like I meet a lot of guys now who are like Patty DeFino's like that. He's like he's weirdly like he was saying he's like grossed out by sex. He's like I need to really know. It's just so funny to hear a guy like that versus being like I don't know. Every guy I think of them as being horny pieces of shit.
Yeah, Patty was talking about how like pussy's gross. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you?
Maybe Patty's gay.
Yeah, that's something a gay man would say.
Yeah, but it's gross the same way like a dick's gross though. Like it like just it is. Just a pussy by itself isn't like.
Yeah.
It's a fucking open wound.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like piss comes out of it.
But it adds up with Patty though, because like Patty like once a week is just like, yeah, man, just stop. The sex stuff grosses me out. Like,
oh yeah, he's gay. Don't get me wrong. Dude. He's gay.
Well, he didn't say pussy's gross. He said eating pussy's gross, which is insane to say, dude.
It's insane to say, but I get it.
It could be though. It could be gross.
It is weird though, because I'm also one of these people like I'm all about like eat ass. You're gay if you don't eat ass, all that stuff. But then like, it's period sex just grosses me out. Like I don't know why, but you're
I mean, there's blood, dude. Like it makes sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah.
Like I don't think that's like I don't think anyone will ever say like, oh, that's not gross. You know what I mean? I think if you shut down an opinion like that, like, oh, what are you talking about? It's not gross. Like you're overdoing for something. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Oh, somebody
like if someone was like, no, you gotta fuck me even if I'm on my period, it's not gross. Like you're like overcompensating for something.
Oh yeah.
If you walked into a room and you saw that, dude,
a bleeding vagina,
just like people having sex when the girl's on her period. Like if you walked in on like your roommate or something, and you saw that and just blood.
And
everywhere.
I've done it, you know, and it's like it could be a mess, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's almost kind of like rejuvenating though, dude. It's kind of like, you know. Not to do it on the reg, but just to do it once. It's kind of like
rejuvenating.
Yeah, you just feel like a new
Gatorade.
Man.
It's like
you just feel like you just like it's like a restart. You know, what I'm you know, people like take shrooms to like reset.
Yeah,
like, that's
begged a girl at her period. Yeah, I feel like I'm more in tune with myself. My relationship with my dad is now fixed.
Yeah, something to talk about in like the coffee room, like on a coffee break and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I like the idea of picturing you in an office. What kind of work do you do?
I'm not. I fucking hate the office. I would never
go
really? Back to it.
Because you are the guy who says the dirty things by the water tank.
I'm the guy who literally says nothing, and everyone's like, "This kid's going to shoot up." This people are like legitimately concerned.
Really,
dude? I would go into the office and legit not say anything all day, and then I'd be like, "All right, have a good night." It was insane, dude.
Did you get fired?
No, I was like one of the best employees, dude.
Really?
But I would just put my headphones in, like. Think about driving through the building and then just check out, man.
Yeah, you're big into car crashes.
Dude, there were moments where like I would be in the break room like making a coffee and people would bring up weather and I would legit not say anything.
Yeah,
like
those are also atrocious conversations.
Yeah.
I had that in my office recently where I was looking over at a guy and everybody's fake laughing and I looked over at this like other guy who's like this like black guy and I just saw the look of pain in his eyes when he was like fake laughing and I was like, it was one of those things I was like, I know you don't want to be here right now.
Yeah,
like
I feel so bad,
especially
for
as
those
like a comic. I think fake laughs very
Oh
well.
yeah,
and I was like, dude, you are painful. Like you hate this right now. Maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah, dude,
I'm
it's
not wrong.
such a painful. It should be illegal, man.
Yeah,
to bring up weather.
Yeah.
Are you fucking shitting me, dude?
But also, I get,
dude.
like,
I talk. You know what? No, dude. I talk about the weather a lot.
Yeah.
I'll be 100% honest, and I'm fucking mean what I say when I talk about.
What
the
type
weather.
of shit do you say though?
Okay, scoot over slightly.
You know, all this fucking humidity, all this shit. Like, what
but he says it like that, so it's funnier. He's like, "This fucking weather,
yeah,
fuck this
I
shit."
talk about
versus,
the weather all the time, dude. The first
but you
thing
talk
I
about
do,
it with emotion.
The
so it's
first
kind of
thing
actually,
yeah, I know, but it's like anything else. Some people talk about everything without. I'm just saying, back off of the weather, dude.
I'm just
You know what I
saying.
mean?
All right, so we're in a break room. You're making a coffee. I'm your boss, like the big swinging dick. I walk in. Hey Ryan, hot one this weekend, huh?
Yeah, I was sweating my balls off, dude. July 4th was killing me. I drank 3 beers, dude, and I was instantly dehydrated.
Yeah. If you said, you would get fired.
Yeah.
Right on the
No!
in a legitimate like corporate setting. I was
There's
sweating
no
my balls
way.
off.
You would get fired for
From
saying
the-
you were
I'm talking-
sweating your
Oh,
balls
absolutely.
off?
My job, I'd be fired.
Oh, dude,
immediately.
I would get fired right away.
I don't understand why people do those jobs. I
Dude,
really
it's
don't.
insane.
I really
It's-
don't.
And look, by the
You
time
guys are the reason to blame. All you fucking people who keep all you people who keep applying to these jobs are the reason the world is
Oh, yeah,
as
we're
fucked as
fueling.
it
Well, that
is.
was the funny spot. I saw a job that was $16 an hour to work in an office, and they're like, and we drug test. I'm like, who the fuck is going to do this job? It's like,
Yeah.
it's $18 an hour to work at fucking Five Guys.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
why
yeah.
the fuck would
and you can be high all day.
Yeah, you'd be on
man. You
so
can
much
be-
drugs
and
at Five
be
Guys.
a good worker.
Yeah, and you get great burgers.
Yeah.
And you get
Probably a pretty decent job to be high at, honestly.
Five Guys.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Like I'm thinking of jobs like because I get uncomfortable. Like I don't want to work high. I don't like doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
I've
got-
done it a couple times. Yeah,
I have
not in
too.
my office job, but I've done it. I worked at a sandwich shop, and I had this thing called there was a thing called like the beer Olympics, and where you drink it like so. The way we do it is like
I don't know if kids have done that.
yeah. So what we did was like when you were pledging, you would stay out all night doing a scavenger hunt. So you'd go to like South Florida. You have to like jump naked.
Driving places?
You're driving. Yeah, but
Shit face?
there's one designated driver. And no, there's one designated driver, and he's driving like
Driving. The designated driver, like 3 hours in, is like, fuck it, dude. He's smash, dude.
Dude, a high score designated driver would do whippets because it lasts 1 minute.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But you drive to like Georgia, you'd have to get 40s in Georgia because you can't get them in Florida. Then you got to go to like
They don't have 40 ounces in Florida?
No.
Wow.
You got to go to like this truck stop strip club called Cafe Risque. You're going all across, and you get back to the fraternity house at like 6 a.m. at the end of the scavenger hunt. They're like, beer Olympics is starting. You guys, and you just get really fucked up. But the older brothers would participate. So when I was an older brother, I participated, and I went to a sandwich shop, and I just like, I puked, and then I took an Adderall.
Was it a job?
Beer Olympics ends at noon, and I had like a 4 o'clock shift. So I was like just wasted. I took like an Adderall, and we just having these really deep, drunk conversations with my boss. I'm just like, yeah, man, dude, I don't know. I don't even know. I haven't picked a major yet. I don't know what I'm doing. Just said like, and then I've also gotten high. But one time I went in high, and my boss started talking about doing acid, and I was like, okay, I'm in the right place right now.
Yeah, there's certain jobs you could do.
I picked up cigarettes on some jobs just so I could have a smoke break. Like, dude, it was.
Jesus Christ.
I know it was a Family Guy episode, but I would do that shit, and it was great because you'd be like, all right, I need to take a smoke break, and like everybody else, they would smoke in restaurants. They smoke so many cigarettes. Like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, if
So
you
it's
show
so-
up cocked to like a job, it's a big deal. But if you show up high, it's not a. People would probably laugh, to be honest.
Yeah, no, they don't. Get
I've seen a kid show up to a lecture high, and
Yeah.
the teacher called on him,
Oh,
and he started laughing his ass off, and the teacher started like crying laughing
yeah.
because she knew he was high.
I did that
Yeah.
a few.
It was like-
I did that a few times in high school. I showed up so fucking stoned one day, and I had to give a speech in front of like my improv class. It was like some improv. It was like a giant improv game. But the class had like 50 fucking people in it, and my teacher picked a random student. And it was me, and I literally just got done smoking. Like it was the first class of the morning. I literally threw the end of a blunt while I was walking into school. And I had to do all these like improv games while I was high out of my mind.
They're like, "Hi, Ryan, you're gonna be a turkey today.
Yeah.
Turkey gobble."
Not too far from that, right? I did well.
You and improv is hilarious. To
I
me.
did well.
Just opposing forces.
I did very well. And then the next kid who went up there wasn't high, and the teacher accused him of being high, dude. It was fucking, dude, it was awesome. And everyone in class knew I was so high, dude.
yeah.
Because it was different when you get high when you're like 16 or 17. It's different than when you're like an adult and get high. Like I stopped smoking weed. I'm like, I don't even really like getting high anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Dude,
I was a
speaking
kid,
of improv, real quick. I'm sorry.
Go.
The woman I was at the pair the other day, and this woman, she's like, "Are the Impractical Jokers going to be at the show?" And I go, "No, I don't think so." And then I walk by the conversation later, and she goes, "Yeah, I actually, the Impractical Jokers saved me from killing myself." And I was just like, "That is so fucking funny."
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if she meant the actors, like she was about to jump off
or
a
the
bridge,
show, yeah.
and they did like a prank where like Sal comes up as a genie. He's like, "You got one last wish," or she was watching the show and she's
Yeah.
like, imagine just seeing like just Merv just goofing around, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna put the gun down and not fucking do
I've
it.
never watched one episode of The Impractical
It's fun.
Jokers.
It is funny.
I've heard.
But it's just a hilarious thing to not kill yourself.
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, improv was weird. I went to it. I was doing a show recently where they had like an improv group as opener, and you forget how horrendous. Like there are people that are good at it,
Yeah.
but when it's bad, it's like so bad.
Totally.
It's like the person's bombing, and they're like, "My name's Kangaroo Johnny,"
Yeah.
and you're like, the audience is like, "This is."
It's in a different way. It's a different type of bomb than stand up. You know what I mean? It is like maybe more or just as uncomfortable when like it's three people just bombing collectively at improv. you
Oh
know?
yeah, and they try to tap each other in. There's always that guy that's like thinks he's better than everybody, so he taps them in faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done it, but if I was going to do it, I would definitely want to do it high. I don't even smoke weed, but that would be a journey.
Yeah.
itself.
Or I don't know. It could be scary though. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like doing anything that much like that high. But I've done shit drunk. Like I've gone to work still drunk from the night before a bunch of times.
Yeah.
When I used to bartend, I used to do that shit all the time. One ti-
Bartending, you could just be drunk as a bartender.
yeah, but I did it one time. It was during the World Cup in 2018. I stayed out. I didn't think I had work one day, and I went to the bar next door where I used to work. I worked like that morning. I got off like, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock at night. I was like, oh, I can't believe I don't have work on a Saturday. It was like the first time in like 3 years. I'm like, I was a moron. I looked at the schedule from the week before. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
of course, I should have known I would have had work. And the next day, I want to say it was like France played Germany or something. Just a monster World Cup game. And I found out at like 2 a.m. when the bar was closed and that I had to be back in like 4 hours or whatever. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. I was so shit faced. I went to work the next day and I was just fucking throwing up and fucking. And I
The worst is when it
drinking again.
creeps in, though, because I had that recently where I drank like super late, and the worst is when you're like, I feel good, and then you can just feel like the little bits of it creeping, and you're like, oh, I'm about to feel horrible.
Dude, I showed up blitzed once to. I used to cut the grass from my hometown at like every school in town, and this dude was like showing me how to use a ride-on lawnmower.
Nice.
And he was like, yeah, like this is how you use the handles, how you use all this shit. And he was like, make sure you drop the blade so like you're actually cutting grass. Dude, I was so high. I drove around an entire like 300-yard field without dropping the blade.
Oh my God.
And I was like, all right, well, that was cool. Like I'm done.
Oh, she didn't even cut the grass at all.
How long did it take?
Dude, at least an hour and a half.
Oh my
It
God.
was so long, dude.
So what, you had to do it again?
Just think about it. It was like 3 football fields, and I was just doing laps
Oh,
without the
God.
blade being down.
So what do you have to do? Go over and do it again?
Like the next morning, he was just like, yeah, like I could notice like the grass isn't cut. Like, did you get to it? And I was like,
It
nah.
grew back.
Did you tell him you didn't drop the blade?
No, but he kind of put the pieces together.
That must be a fairly common thing, though, right?
I mean, typically, like I probably should have looked behind me and been
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, like nothing's cut.
Were you high as hell?
Oh, dude, I was listening to fucking Small Town by John Mellencamp, just having the time of my life, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the best job I ever had, man. Was just ride, dude. You would literally just ride these John Deere like
Those look
$9,000.
sick, dude.
Dude, they're like $9,000
Yeah.
lawnmowers, and you just shred it, dude.
Yeah.
You just put in your headphones and fucking.
Dude, work like that. Like I've done construction and like some of it sucks, but I've had constructions where I'm doing like landscaping and it's so great. Just throw in music and just like literally just take the
Cruise,
Yeah, I worked with like one of my best friends too, dude, and they gave us a town truck.
Oh, that's
so we would
awesome.
haul around the lawnmowers.
That's sick.
Go school to school and just fucking cut grass, man.
That's fucking perfect.
Dude.
Or that's the problem is like I would love a job like that now, but the hours are just so like I can't do a midnight show and then now coming at like 6 a.m.
Bro,
Yeah,
the
but if
hours
you didn't
are.
do comedy though, like I always say, like working for the city, having like a city job, like doing shit like that must rule, dude.
Bro, the hours are 7 to 3.
Those are great.
You
Those
get
are-
paid
Yeah, yeah.
$20 an hour.
yeah,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
are great hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that when I worked. I did like landscape, and like it was one of those things where like I would do that, and then it was during
7 to
COVID,
3.
and then right after
Dude.
3, I would just start drinking White Claws with my boss. We like lived
Yeah.
in the same house because he runs a tree company, and those were like some of the best days of my life because like literally you'd be out in the sun all day, which was like shitty, but it's also good, and then you feel so good afterward. Like once you late,
Yeah.
and then you just like we'd have out of like a glass of water, we get some Chipotle after work, and then you start slamming White Claws, jumping in the pool, and then you drink till like this is like COVID, so like there wasn't much comedy I could do, and then I drink until like fucking 8 p.m., fall asleep at 8 p.m., and then just do the next day.
Yeah.
It was
Dude, they
wonderful.
would literally be like, you're getting paid $8 an hour. Like, don't take it too seriously. And you'd be like, all right. Like, they literally would say that. They'd be like, the treasurer like doesn't give a fuck about you guys. Like, you're underpaid. Like, just fuck around. And we're like, all right.
Yeah, and then you could fuck around because your colleagues are fun. So like we'd be making jokes the whole time, like having such a fucking blast. I was like so thankful. I was like,
Dude, it sucks that like COVID wasn't that long ago, but we're already reminiscent.
dude,
on
I
it.
miss it so much.
It
all the
fucking.
time.
I remember telling people while it was going on how good it was, and people like, "Oh, I can't wait for everything to go back to normal. I was like, when everything was normal, it fucking sucked. Dude.
Yeah, it was
Like,
terrible. Yeah.
This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it should be like a holiday. There should just be no summer, just summer hours for.
I would look back at memories though, like when everyone was really isolated, and I'd be like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, that did get dark.
It was kind of scary. Like some
Yeah.
of the stories I put up, I was just like, dude, this isn't even who you are, man.
I hear
You're just
ya.
like, we need to kill Trump.
Just like-
You're getting so. Johnny had like an Antifa just moment where he's just like,
Because like everyone was just playing fucking Warzone inside. Like no one went outside. So like everyone was on social media. So people were putting shit up. But like you weren't.
see, I was the opposite. I was getting high and going canoeing. I was having
Really?
like an amazing time.
well, you were in
before-
Florida though.
No, dude, it was the
Yeah. So like, yeah, it was normal down there. But
yeah. I will say, job wise, we were talking about this earlier, but my favorite job I had was being an Uber driver. That was the most fucking fun job ever.
How long
dude.
you do that for?
I did that for like 6 months probably.
how
But
much
it
they
was
pay you?
I don't know. It,
Depends how much you drive. Right?
Yeah, but like game days were great because it would be a game day at my school, and I'd be like, all right, well, the tailgate's gonna start at 2 p.m. So I mean, sometimes it start earlier, but I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna drive from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and just make a bunch of money and then just go tailgating all day, and it was amazing. But that's why the dumbest thing is like this Uber driver rule where they're like, people get banned from Uber. Like it's like if anybody needs an Uber, it's the guy who gets banned from Uber. Like it's everybody's like, oh, he's too rude to the drivers, so he can't drive Uber now. It's like, well, now he's going to be drunk in a car next to you, and he's going to kill a family of 5.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend who got banned for he fought an Uber driver. Like he got out of the car and fucking fist fought it. I'm pretty sure he got his fucking ass kicked too, which is so funny to just get your ass kicked by an Uber driver. Dude, yeah. I don't know the full story, but I heard he like literally was like on the side of the road fist fighting his Uber driver. Dude, which is such a hilarious moment to just be like,
he got banned from Uber.
yeah.
For life.
Yeah, and he got he lost too, so he just got his ass kicked, and then he can't get a ride home, so he has to walk probably fucking 10 miles
That's
or something
fucking
like that.
awesome.
There's no
dude.
coming back from that, dude.
No, dude.
Cab drivers have been dealing with that forever, dude. You know, it's just.
But it's like, if anything, that's the guy who needs to be in Ubers because he's going to drive drunk and kill somebody. Because that guy, it's like it should be like a government-oriented thing where I don't know the answer, but cops should just be Uber drivers.
I went in an
Actually,
Uber.
no, that's going to escalate too quickly.
No, fuck that. Yeah, I can't be. I can't. You know, I was in an Uber one time, and I remember it was after I was bartending, and we partied after for like a couple hours. I got in an Uber. We drove for about 30 seconds, and I told the guy, I was like, "Yo, just pull over real quick." And he pulled over. Fucking 4 a.m. There's no one on the street. We're in Boston. I opened the door and I fucking let everything out. And I knew I was done throwing up. I got out of the car. Nothing was in the car. I just took my shirt off. I let all this shit out. I was drunk, but it was more so I had an upset stomach from drinking. It wasn't like, and I went to go back in the car and the dude's trying to fucking drive off, dude. And I had my bag in there and shit. I was like, dude, chill the fuck out. And that almost escalated. But and I remember I got a Uber called me the next day and was like, what happened last night? And I explained.
And you're like, he raped me.
I should have said something like that.
Brutally.
Dude.
And then threw me out of his car. I said, how do you like that?
I had a fucking deaf Uber driver, dude. And
oh my God.
This chick had just this beautiful.
You're like, take a ride. She's like, what? Take a ride.
Dude, I was talking to this ginger chick, man, and she was so hot, dude. And she ended things, and I was super upset. So I went out to a bar, just got smashed.
Wait, what? Hold on. What? You were dating this girl?
No, I was just texting this girl and
I thought you were upset because you're dating a ginger. You're like, what?
No, I was
just telling me you were dating.
I was
a
just
redhead?
talking to this ginger chick who was beautiful and way out of my league, and I was doing pretty well, and then she ended things.
Yeah.
So to compensate, I went to a bar and just got smashed.
Yeah.
And I called an Uber to get home, and we're driving the wrong way for 5 minutes, and I'm like, hey man, where are you going? And no response. I'm like, dude, you just can you answer me? You're going the wrong way. No response. And then eventually I realized he was completely deaf. Didn't hear anything I said. And so I started waving my arms in front of his fucking face. And he would finally.
What if he just passed out? Ah!
Yeah.
He's blind too. He doesn't notice the eyes.
Dude, I realized I got in the wrong Uber, and I had to write in my notes.
Yo, watch your feet.
I was like, yo, just pull over. Just drop me off here. And he just dropped me off on the side of the road. Dude, I had to walk 5 miles home.
Why didn't you just call another Uber?
Dude, so I'm walking over these speed bumps and on this dark road. And I'm maybe I don't know, I'm pretty close to my house. I'm almost there. And I see this car behind me, slowly approach me. And it's the ginger chick who ended things with me.
Oh, did you see she walking on the highway drunk as shit?
And she goes, do you need a ride? And I was like, I said, yeah.
Oh,
got in the car, dude. We didn't say anything to each other. She just dropped me off.
That's
Then
better
you
than
never saw her ever again.
Never talked.
That's
to her
better
again.
than you being like, no, I'm actually having fun here.
Dude,
I
if
feel
I
would've
could go
tried to own
back,
it.
I would have been like, no, I don't fucking need a ride.
Yeah. Take your
definitely.
car.
Yeah,
Then she probably would have hit you up afterwards another time. You know what I mean?
yeah, she would have respected me, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, those long walks are terrible laden. Some of it, if you're with a group of people, it's fun. But we did one where I think the bars closed and we walked probably 6 miles back to my friend's house.
Oh man.
And I remember it was it was 4 or 5 a.m. and we were we got to get more fucked up. So we bought gas station drugs. You know, when they're this is it's got a weird some guy with swirlies in his eyes, and it's the fucking cheese meister pills. And you're I don't know what these are. And my friend crushed them up and snorted them on the concrete, just just literally in front of 7-Eleven. Doing a line off of a curb. And he's just I don't know if it's 5 a.m. and we just haven't slept in 10 hours or if I'm just really fucked up on drugs.
What did the things do to you?
We didn't get fucked up at all. Some of those work, some of them don't. You know, some of those are crazy because K2 is legal and you could just smoke that and have a seizure.
I thought they were all bonnet pills.
He may have snorted boner pills, and he's just rock hard. He's like, dude, I'm not even high. I don't even know what the fuck happened. But those are always funny too, because like I remember we'd come in. We had a couple nights like that and those are my favorite nights, but you just feel so bad the next day. Like we had one where
when you wake up at like 4 p.m. and shit.
Oh yeah,
that's
dude.
the worst,
dude. I like yeah, dude. We've had some fun ones. We had one where it was like we climbed we stayed up like all night. Like the sun's coming out, and we're like we're gonna go watch the sunrise on the lake. And one of my friends fell asleep in a tree. Like he climbed a tree and just fell asleep in a tree. And then later he fell asleep in the middle of the street, and these like joggers came up to him. They're like, "Are you all right?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine." And then we walked into and we ended up like wrestling in somebody's front yard, who I think came out at like 9 a.m. and it was like, "Well, you guys got serious fucking problems."
Yeah.
And we climbed this there's this wall, and we did this like Indiana Jones thing where we're gonna climb across this suburban wall, and it's lining people's backyards, and we're gonna climb across the wall until it ends, and we're just gonna see how far we can walk. I think this may have been a different night, and we see like a thorn bush. And we're like, we got to get through the thorn bush, and so like we're covered in like just
spikes and shit.
Yeah. And then we're climbing through cactuses and stuff like that. And then finally, some guy's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" We're like, "We're playing Indiana Jones," but we're like grown ass fucking adults.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the next day you're just like you want to kill yourself,
dude. I would do that tonight, dude. If you guys asked, I would fucking meet up and shit.
We should do that.
The worst though is when you hung over and like you think like, bro, now my hangovers, I have so much anxiety the next day. I'm like, I'm like, I feel like every time I wake up, I'm like, dude, I think I must have committed a million crimes last night. Or like, I feel like I could go to jail.
Dude, I'll have fake memories of doing things.
Really?
Like, it didn't. I'll be like, you're not for sure. But you're like, did I punch my friend in the face? And like, it didn't happen. But you're like, why do I feel like I punched somebody in the face?
The other day, I was hungover. It was the day after July 4th. I was hungover as fucking hell, and I'm in my hallway. I was like doing shit, and it's fucking changed, whatever. And I'm sitting there. 2 fucking police officers show up at my door, and I'm outside of I forget what I was doing.
That is a terrible fucking hangover,
right? So I'm sitting there. I've only been awake for like not even an hour, and I'm fucking hungover. I see 2 cops in my fucking hallway. All my shit in my building was fucked up. It's like a whole thing, but they stopped walking.
Was it you?
No. It's like I don't know who my landlord is. Shit sold, all that shit. But my mailbox was all fucked up. And these cops come in, and I asked these cops, I'm like, "You guys bringing me mail?" Like a moron. And they have a big stack of paper. I'm like, "I think they're serving someone a warrant." And then they walk past me, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm fine." They go upstairs, and they were just checking. I guess there was like some kind of domestic dispute upstairs, and they had to like check in a couple days later. And I was with one of my friends, and I remember
That's a funny thing to check in a couple days. Like, you guys still fucking hate each other? Okay, cool.
Yeah. She puts her hand on my chest, and she's like, "Dude, your fucking heart is like," she's like, "What did you do where you see 2 cops and you're just like, your heart is like."
Dude, I have the same thing, though. If I see cops like walking towards me, I think of the weirdest shit. I'm like, you know what? I saw a video on Pornhub. She looked young. I clicked on it, and I don't know what happened. And you're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I'll freak out about that.
Same when I'm at like the airport, or like.
But then I realize I'm like, oh, it's Pornhub. They're really strict about that.
Well, I have the exact opposite anxiety, dude. Like, I want something crazy to fucking happen to me, dude. Because I get so depressed. I'm just like, dude, just give up on everything. But I like want someone to level me in like a fucking Range Rover or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Not
I
really.
don't understand that at all.
Not all the time.
You know what? Okay, I will have this. If I'm like on my way to work, I'm like, dude, I hope I get hit by a car and then I can go to the hospital and not. Like, I'd rather be in the hospital right now than go into this fucking office.
Well, there's a tight line where it's like sometimes you kind of wish you could get hit by a car but not seriously damaged.
But then make a big deal about it and just be like, I can't walk.
No, I can care less about that. But just sue the insurance company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you get hit, like my dream, I shouldn't say my dream. I really don't want it to happen, but if it were to happen, I'd want to get hit by like a cop car or like some kind of city car in a crosswalk while I was allowed to cross. That's the ultimate hitting the lottery.
Yeah,
you know what I mean right there, because it's like no one's gonna get hurt or anything. Like no one's really gonna be in trouble. They're just gonna the city will just give me a fuck ton of money. Like, I've never broken a bone or anything, but like if I got hit by a car and I didn't get like serious brain damage or like if I knew I would heal 100%, but I was in a crosswalk, like.
Dude, I know a guy like that.
I don't want to manifest this though, because I've been manifesting a lot and it's been happening. So,
dude, you would have taken advantage of a lot of experiences I've had, like in terms of like insurance and shit.
Have you been hit by like 9 cars and just not done anything?
Dude, I used to work for Amazon, and they would be like, they're super strict about finishing your deliveries. They'd be like, do not come back unless you've delivered all your packages. Dude, I was driving home.
Amazon really treats their employees like
dude,
dog
they treat
shit,
them like
huh?
shit. Dude, I was on the highway, and a storm was fucking brewing, dude. So there's probably like 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground, and I didn't know that the van I was driving had no tread at all,
Oh,
dude.
Jesus
So I go
Christ.
in to like merge in the middle of the highway, and I just start spinning out, dude. Fucking smash a guardrail. I fucking did a 360 like 4 times, and I just remember my seatbelt came undone. I flew over into the passenger seat. My airbag didn't even go off, dude. It fucking queefed a little bit, but it didn't go off. And I'm just facing the highway, like my fucking van's totaled. I'm just facing cars.
Like they're coming the other way.
They're coming
Oh my
towards me.
god.
And like, dude, I was fine, but I was like in shock. And I had to call like the dispatch, be like, hey, I just got in a car crash. Like, where are you? This cop was super chill, but like afterwards, dude, the dispatch didn't even ask me if I was okay. Dude,
They're like, are their packages
my
safe?
back was fucked.
Damn.
And I was just pissed. And I just fucking, dude, they laid everyone off like 3 days later, and I didn't do anything about it.
Oh, bro,
I could have been like, dude, I
sued
could
them
have
to the
taken
fucking-
pictures of the tread on the tires.
Yeah.
Been like, yo, my back's fucked. Like, been compensated.
Yeah, your
somehow.
back and your neck, dude. Like they can't really
Yeah.
prove that stuff. Like you can't X-ray. Like people always say their back and their neck hurts because like X-rays or any of that shit can never pick up if it actually hurts. and
Yeah, I
stuff.
could have like gotten a pretty decent like lawsuit, dude.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But I was just
Well, I think that's also the kind of stuff they want to just like settle. Like they're probably just like, all right.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
dog,
100%,
we don't even wanna go
100%.
far. We'll just give you a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, and you don't work.
Yeah.
I mean, I
there
know
no
nothing
more.
about the law, but I'm guessing.
No,
that's
that's
what they do.
mostly
dude,
what
this
it
lady
is.
called me like a month later, and she was like, hey, I had a few questions about the accident you got in. If you could just call me back. And I just never called her back. Like, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
Did you keep working there afterwards, or did you get laid off?
They were like, yo, legit, like a few days later, they go, this lady showed up and she was like, hey, all of you are like fired. She's like, we're like liquidating the company.
Oh shit.
We were
That
like,
sucks.
okay.
You're like, my back.
Yeah,
Just
fuck.
right as that happens.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm on the verge of losing. I mean, I'll talk about it now because I'm about to lose a job. So,
I feel like every time I come on this show, you're either about to
well,
lose a
there's a lot of
job.
close calls where I'm like, I'm about to get fired. And my dad always tells me, he's like, don't talk about the job on the podcast. But I'm like, if they see the cover, it's me with cornrows and a gun.
Yeah, good
I'm
as fuck.
fired.
Yeah,
if they
yeah,
click,
exactly.
so I'm just going to talk
Yes.
about it.
Yeah.
So I
Name the company address and
No,
your supervisor
I'm not.
man.
I'm not. My boss is just like such an uptight woman where she's wearing a mask and she has those things that like stop you from getting arthritis. Like she has like wrist.
Okay,
guards
oh,
to,
yeah,
like, and I'm like, this
yeah,
is like the most uptight person ever. But
Would you say she wears a mask too?
yeah.
Nice.
But to be fair, her mom's like older or whatever. But I don't think I've ever seen her mom wearing a mask. She brings her mom into the office who has like for sure dementia or Alzheimer's and just has her do things in the office, which I think is like there's just like a Filipino woman just organizing things in the back who's like not getting paid. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is kind of insane to have your like senile mother. And I'm like, she's probably gonna fuck up the organizing. Like there's no way she's putting things in the right
Yeah.
place. She forgets everything probably. So but yeah, that woman just hates me. Like I had fucking what was it? I had she's like somebody took stamps off my desk and she's like, you really need to make sure people don't take stamps off your desk. Like that's your responsibility. I was like, someone stole something from me. Like, why is it my fucking fault now that these things are taken? But I don't know if I could be in an office.
Why are you gonna get fired?
They're changing from temp to permanent, and then like the amount is dropping, and there's only one position open, and they definitely like the other person way more than me. Like my boss
Was it really only you or that person?
or whoever else is applying, which I guarantee you is more qualified.
Yeah.
than me.
Yeah, just kill him, dude.
I'm not gonna. Funny joke, Johnny, but I can't make jokes like
Yeah,
that.
I'm just kidding.
Report your boss's mom.
Yeah.
Feel like we have an unauthorized worker in the company, and I don't think she's an American citizen, dude. You should hit up 311 right now and call live on the podcast. Dude.
Yeah.
They'll settle that.
We got a call earlier for the fake police thing. We got one of those scam calls.
Oh yeah, the donation things right before you got here.
Oh yeah, like a fake. Like
Was
scam
you think
call?
it was fake? You think it was real?
Yeah, I don't think the police are. Yeah, maybe they're asking for money. I don't know.
Everyone's asking for fucking money.
Yeah, dude. Fucking, especially these fucking solar panel guys. It's
Well-
not popular around here, but
Oh, the comic. That's like a big comic job. They call and try to sell people solar panels.
I know like
Really?
11 people that have had that job of selling solar panels.
Yeah.
Have-
Everyone.
Have you had that job?
No, I'm about to be at that level.
they're
though.
fucking super aggressive, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying.
But it's
to
like, what the
sell 'em-
fuck? Where am I going to put solar panels here? Like, what the
Well,
Yeah.
if you owned a building, and it was it's you see that shit in the suburbs and shit. I was just at a house last week out in the Hamptons, and the entire roof was a solar panel.
I was in the Hamptons last week.
Sick.
It's sick, but it's over.
I went to I went to Shelter Island, which I guess is like technically different than the Hamptons.
Yeah,
but it's like
yeah.
off of that island. It was beautiful. But the house I was in was, I mean, it was an amazing house, be a good time. But the entire roof, I noticed it the next day when I was like way out in the yard and I could see the whole house. The entire roof was a giant solar panel.
Oh, damn.
Dude, they probably got some fucking steaming tits on the Hamptons.
I was with all old people.
Really?
Yeah,
You didn't
good
see
time.
anything?
No.
See, I went to the Hamptons, and this is one thing I'll say. It was nice because it's like the beaches in Florida, you don't get that sort of Appalachian feel, but here it's like there's mountains, so it's kind of nice because you get like nice hilly mountains and stuff like that. But the sand on the beach is fucking horrendous. It's so many fucking rocks.
Yeah, it was very
It's like
rocky.
compared to Florida, it's like just rocks every
Yeah.
fucking where, and then it's
Yeah.
like, and then the water's just cold as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, have you been to a Florida beach?
Yeah, I went to Cocoa Beach.
Oh, Cocoa was
Florida.
okay.
Dude, I couldn't swim because it was too cold and deep. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
fucking crazy. If I went out like 5 feet, I would have died.
Yeah.
Like the current would have just taken
Yeah,
me.
do you see like how hard the currents are and shit in Florida when you look at the water?
Yeah, well, it also depends the beach. So it's like every beach has a different thing. I think Miami has the best fucking beach. The sand is like pure white. It's like so smooth. I sound a little racist. Thanks.
Yeah, people are like fully naked too, right?
Sometimes some of the beaches, yeah.
Can you go in the water like, or is the current like crazy?
Yeah, Miami has less of, from my experience. I've only been there a couple times. Like it seems less. Cocoa is like big time because Cocoa is a big surf town.
Yeah.
So like that town has like huge waves.
Mhm.
And the sand isn't as good. The sand's kind of like gross, kind of like it's like too
Brown.
Yeah, it's brown. It's also kind of like, or it's like that orangish color, and then it's like a little too it's too rough. Like it's like the sand in Miami is like so fine that it's like it's amazing. It's like
Yeah.
it's like soft almost.
Rhode Island has good beaches too, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also, but the hard part about that is like it's probably there's probably like a limit you can go. Like I feel like New York, it's like you can only go to the beach a certain period. But as you were saying, like it's still cold if you go in. Like when did you go to Cocoa?
Fucking like maybe 3 years ago.
Well, I'm saying
It
what
was
time of year
in
was it?
September.
September was cold.
Yeah, dude, it's freezing.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like the hottest month down there.
I
right?
went to,
September?
dude, I was
At
in
least
the
it was
middle of
cold.
like
Yeah, yeah.
nowhere. I was in the middle of like, I was in the middle of Florida, dude. Like,
Yeah.
It was like,
Doing what? What were you doing
I
down
was
there?
going to my brother's wedding, dude. The fuck, dude?
Is he still married
Yeah. But he got married
to the same
literally-
guy?
Yeah. Dude, he got married like in the middle of Florida, so it was super. Like I felt so uncomfortable the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there was nothing to do, and like, I just can't even explain it, dude. Everyone was so angry. You could feel the racism, dude. I didn't
Oh,
see
yeah.
one black guy, dude.
Yeah.
I went
That's
to
what I'll make a bet with my girlfriend since we'll go to weddings. I'm like, how many black people think their wedding? We're like 0. And
yeah,
sometimes
dude.
that happens.
Yeah, the middle of Florida is like fucking crazy, man. I think that's where like all the crazy shit happens, right?
Yeah, I'm from Orlando, so yeah, it's a mix. But sometimes I don't know. There are a lot of things. It's like sometimes you think you don't realize how crazy something is until you leave.
Yeah.
And then people were like, no, our friends were not like that. Like, because I experienced that this weekend where they were like, yeah, we were hanging out with our friends, and I'm meeting my friend's college friends, and he's like, yeah, your friend lied a bunch about high school. He said you guys were like doing cocaine all the time, and like he was like selling drugs and stuff. I was like, yeah, no, that's what that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
And it turns out my friends were crazier than I thought they were. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was like the mom, so they'd be like, "Don't tell Michael about this," and they do way more drugs. Like I have friends who do coke before school, and I had no idea. Like
Yeah.
they had secret lives outside of me
Mhm.
that they like.
Why
wouldn't
would
tell
you
me.
have snitched on him?
I want to snitch, but I'm like, hey, maybe don't do heroin, guys, because I have friends doing
Yeah.
heroin, and I'm like, that's not like. But to be fair, only one of them, the heroin friends, is in prison. The other two are fine. So maybe heroin's
Yeah.
not as bad as people say it is.
Yeah, dude. It was just like it was kind of like here where like people are like desensitized to shit.
Yeah.
So like if someone took out like an AR-15, like I feel like no one would have batted an eye. You know what I mean? Like it was that kind of feeling.
Yeah, it depends on the context.
Yeah, I mean, if we're in like an open orchard at the wedding and someone takes out like a fucking a mini Uzi, you know, and
Yeah.
starts shooting squirrels, like I just feel like no one would have been like that would have been normal.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, some of it's like that. I mean, some of it, I think the gun thing's like people don't realize how normal the gun stuff. It's like everybody.
People are fucking insane when you talk to them about guns up here. Like they just think if you have a gun, you're gonna just shoot up a school
Yeah, yeah,
automatically.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, dude. And the thing always I say about people is like, unless you've shot a gun, don't tell me how gay they are because shooting.
Nobody's calling guns gay.
No, they don't say it's like gay, but they say how like they're unnecessary and stuff like that. Dude, shooting a gun is one of the funnest things you could fucking possibly do.
Yeah,
shooting guns is mad fun
for sure. Yeah, no, and it is also funny. One of those things too, where people are like, yeah, that nobody's calling it gay, but I get what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah, they're not calling it gay.
It just sucks that you can't joke about it though.
No, you can.
You can't if you're not specific. If you're broad, I think you can. But it's like, yeah, it's funny. People that take joke. It is funny because people do take that stuff seriously. Like I was watching this weird conspiracy about how this will all relate, but how Bob Saget was murdered. Have you heard this theory?
Like
No,
he fell
I
in the
haven't.
shower.
He fell in the shower, and people were like, "There's no way he fell in the shower."
Why do they think it's a conspiracy? Why do they think he was conspired to be killed?
Because they're like, well, the front of his skull was hurt too, and I was like, he fell really hard. It's so funny too because like the beginning of the documentary, they're like this really suspicious stuff. By the end of it, you just believe nothing bad happened or nothing crazy happened because it's like the whole story was that first off, he did a show in Jacksonville, which is weird because his hotel was in Orlando. That part is weird because it's a 2-hour drive. I'm like, why don't he get a hotel in? And the whole story is he came back from a show, was like, hey guys, I had a great time at the show. Then he took Klonopin and Trazodone. So he took like 2 sleeping pills. And then
was he drinking too?
no, but he slipped and hit his head on like the ledge coming out of the shower. I'm like, yeah, that's like insane blunt force trauma. Like, why would you not? Like, if you hit that at the right angle, yeah, of course it would fuck you up. But people were like, he was making pedophile jokes, and maybe he was fucking kids, and the parents of the kids came and murdered Bob Saget. I'm like, that is insane.
I guarantee you, dude, he was fucked up on something, and his body just went fucking limp.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
dude. If your body just goes limp and you smack your head on something, it's like, dude,
Yeah,
that amount of force is insane.
he was a
Yeah.
big dude too, wasn't he? Like 6'6" or
Yeah, it was
something.
huge, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he was sober and like slipped on soap in the shower and fucking died. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah, it's like he was really on 2, like, sleeping. Like,
Yeah.
I've taken Klonopin.
I'm never gonna take a sleep. I don't give a fuck. I'm never gonna take a sleeping pill ever because I feel like I've just known so many people who just haven't woken up, like who shouldn't have died.
Oh, that's a lot, yeah.
It's
I was about to
fuck-
just go so pro sleeping pill, but your argument wins out. I'd be like, I fucking love sleeping pills.
fuck that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like,
I mean, maybe I also right now I knock on fucking. I don't have problems going to sleep, so
sometimes though, if you're like on an air mattress, like the only time I've taken them, actually I've taken them a bunch of times. But if you're like sleeping on like an air mattress or like a shitty couch, doing like a road gig, that's when I'm like, okay, I'll take a sleeping pill. But it's like it's one of those things that's like I don't know. It's I don't know if there's a way to justify it, but it is great to not have to worry about sleep and just pass out.
yeah.
Or if I'm taking like a red eye, like I feel like you take like a little Xanax and then sleep the whole flight.
yeah.
It's not a great way to live, but you know.
It's all about the day after, dude.
Yeah,
You know? It's like, are you gonna do it again?
yeah. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Dude.
Yeah, that next day, have you guys taken Xanax?
No.
That next day, you're just a fucking
Taking
dumbass.
fucking Claritin D though and drinking.
I don't think that does anything. There's no.
Oh, dude, that'll fucking mess you up good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Really?
If you take a
Claritin's pretty strong.
Claritin D, dude, and get drunk, man.
Yeah.
You'll get rocked, dude.
Really?
Try
I
it.
might try that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try it, dude.
We were
Why would you tell someone to try that, dude?
I mean, it just seems like he really wants to try it, dude.
I'm very curious now. Well, because it's an over-the-counter thing. It doesn't sound like a. The funny is, when I was a kid, we'd get high on weird things because we're like, maybe this is a really good high. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you realize certain drugs are popular for a reason. There's a reason
Yes.
weed is popular.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cocaine is popular. There's a reason that smoking parsley and taking cough medicine is not popular. It's
Yeah.
because it fucking sucks.
I think any sort of like medication combined with drinking is just not good.
Yeah, pretty much. I think you're
Health
right.
wise, no, but experience wise,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fucking
for sure.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, it'll just rock you.
You take.
What about drinking in Xanax? Have you done
It's
that?
amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
is it
You
really?
drink it, take Xanax, and go by a pool. It's the greatest day of your life.
Go by
It's
a
the-
pool. Go
Go,
what?
go in a pool or hang out by a pool.
Yeah.
It's
I feel like that is asking to drown.
no,
Mm.
you're fine. It is amazing. The people around you will hate you forever, and they'll say you're annoying as. I remember I did it one time, and I was just getting in an argument. We went to we had this college pool, and I would just. This one day I just took a bunch of Xanax, not a bunch. I think I took like half a stick or like a quarter bar, and we're just drinking by the pool. And I get into like a yelling match about my friend about whether I could financially support myself without my parents. Literally, I was like, dude, I looked into the numbers in high school. My dad found out somebody was like cheating in high school. My friend, I paid him to just do my Latin class. I was like,
Yeah.
just do my Latin class. My dad's like very moral guy, so he's like, this is terrible. He's like, I'm all this stuff. And I was like, whatever, I'm moving out. And I looked for 2 minutes online. I was like, yeah, there's like I I could support myself, which I could not have.
Yeah.
But me and my friend are just arguing about like I was like, dude, kids need to move out of their house earlier, man. I almost did it, which I was not even close to doing it.
Yeah, you just flirted with
And
the
I'm just
idea.
yelling at him. He's like, well, in foreign countries, they stay at their parents till they're 26 years old. And then the next day I was like, what the fuck was I yelling about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think, I got drunk and high in high school, and that was like the craziest time of my life for sure. You mix those two together, dude.
It's
Because
fun.
it's like you could convince me to do anything at that point.
What is this, weed and booze?
Yeah,
yeah.
but then I always threw up.
Yeah, you get too dizzy.
Yeah,
I don't like
me
that.
too.
Especially a bong. There's not even a bong that just gets you so fucked up, and you're just
God,
like,
dude. What are those things called? Gravity bongs or whatever they are?
Oh, yeah,
Remember
yeah.
those things, dude? I don't even know why.
dude,
I
we
used
did that
do
to our exchange student. We had an exchange student from Spain, and I was like screaming at him, and he was giggling so hard. I was like, my parents are coming home. We're gonna be so fucked. He's like, ha ha. But I'm like, could you imagine being in a foreign country and like a little Spanish boy? He's like, you're like, this is the funniest thing ever.
Dude.
Well, we did it again with them, and we brought him to like the country club, and one dude like passed out on the dock, and so the dude passed out in the bathroom for like 4 hours. And I was like 14, and our exchange students were like 16 or 17. So I keep knocking the door. I'm like, Juan, ¿estás bien? He'd go, sí. That just went on for 4 hours. But yeah, they fuck you up, dude. And also like, whenever I do gravity bongs, I have that terror, like, especially when you're like a kid, like, I just have those terrifying feelings. I was like, dude, my parents are gonna fucking know.
That's
for
what
sure.
I'm saying about, like, I used to get so hot. Like, no wonder I never enjoyed weed as a teenager, because I would smoke so much. It was like retarded. I'm like,
Yeah.
now I'm like I say, I don't really smoke weed anymore, but like when I would, it would just be like, I'm gonna take 2 or 3 hits of this joint and then put it out, and then I'll be like, okay, I can fuck around and watch a movie or something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I used to like face fucking blunts before
Yeah,
school.
but there's always that guy that would be like, "You're a fucking bitch."
Oh, I
had friends like that.
know.
They're like, "You're literally
Me
you're-
too,
You're
me
not
too.
my friend unless you take 5 bong rips."
Bro, I
And you're
remember
like,
one
"All
time
right, man."
I was driving to school. I was in the passenger seat. I was driving one of my buddies. We had the first period together. It was my junior year of high school. I think in junior year of high school. We're getting high as hell. He rolled a fucking huge joint, one of those king size ones, dude. I remember I was like, I couldn't smoke anymore. It's 7:30 in the morning. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't fucking smoke anymore. He's like, are you for real? And I'm like, bro, I got to sit in a class in like 20 minutes from now. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get out of your car.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like, when I tell you, like, another time too, right? We smoked weed before. It was with the same kid. He used to pick me up all the time. We'd just smoke on the way to school. I was smoking weed, and I go, I got to stop in this store, little corner store across from my school. I go in there. He had a red Dodge Durango, and another car pulls up. I didn't know. It was the same color, same model, same everything as his, directly next to him. So I'm like not really paying attention, and I go into the car, and I shut the door, and there's just a baby crying in the back seat of the car. And there's a lady. She's like, oh, I think you're supposed to be in that car. I noticed when I pulled up, it's the same exact. My eyes are just fucking down to my mouth, dude. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? She's like, you got in the wrong car. And I get in. And my buddy's just laughing his balls off. I'm like, that was the crazy. It like shocked me from the inside, where I'm like, I'm never doing drugs ever again.
Yeah, it is funny when that happens though, because it's like I've had that happen too. One time we were in high school, and I was trying to pick up coke, and I got in the wrong car, and like, I didn't know what the coke dealer looked like. So I'm like kind of basically talking to a guy. I'm like, hey man, what's up? And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, so, and you want to be like, what's it called? Like esoteric. Like, you don't want to be so direct and sort of like, so
Yeah.
I've got $40. And he's just like, and I was like, so are we going to make this happen? He's like, what? And I'm like, are you the coke dealer? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, my bad. But it's also weird that guy just let me in his fucking car. Dude, I was that last night. I saw a guy at the bar. Dude, I saw a guy at the bar last night. Looked like Dan Frank. At he's a gay comic. Hilarious.
He's the fucking
He's so
man.
funny. But I see this guy at the bar drinking like a fruity drink, and I almost walk up and say, gay drink for an even gayer man. And it was just a stranger, and I was so close to saying it. And then I was like, literally, that if that was just a straight guy, if it was a gay guy, it would have been whatever. You'd be like, what? But it was like, if it was a straight guy, and you just walk into a random straight guy, and be like, gay drink for an even gayer man. It just sucks. Dude, that's where you fight somebody. Like that's so aggressive to a stranger.
I hugged a girl from behind one time in a Target. I thought it was my girlfriend at the time. They were in this. They looked from behind. They looked.
But it was like a 90-year-old woman.
No.
Yeah, I thought you were.
They looked exactly the same from behind, and I grabbed her from behind and hugged her, and then I like looked at her and I was like, oh shit, and the girl fucking screamed in Target, dude. I was like, yo, my bad. I was like, my girlfriend's over there. She's like, get the fuck away from me.
Your girlfriend breaks up from you.
Dude,
It's like,
I walked over to my girlfriend and acted like nothing happened, and we walked by the girl, and I was like, I told you, you guys look the same. And she didn't say nothing. My girlfriend was like, what was that about? And I was like, nothing, never mind. You know?
it'd be funny if it was just a girl with like giant honkers. You're like, it's just,
They looked exactly the same
Yeah.
from the back,
Yeah.
dude.
One of the craziest things I saw, I remember this brief memory. We were at this place called Tijuana Flats, which is a Mexican restaurant. Outside, we see a car door open and a blindfolded old lady in the back.
Nice.
And the door closed and just goes away. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? Is somebody kidnapping an old lady?
It's a real Mexican experience. If that was the truth, dude. Cartel shows up.
Dude, I watched a documentary recently about there's this thing in Florida called The Villages, which is like a giant old person community. And Vice made a documentary about it. And they left out the part that they have like the biggest STD rate in like all of, like it's one of the highest
Yeah.
STD. But I don't know if that's because they're older and they've just been fucking for much longer or what leads to it. But I don't know, there's always like two sides of the Vice documentary. They're always like, oh, this is good. And then there's some guys like, they're ruining the land with their
Yeah.
dolphin and stuff.
Talk about a network, bro. Like when that Vice shit like came out, I thought they had some of the best documentaries and some of the best shit I've ever seen on television ever. In the last few years, it's just, I mean, you talk about shit that's gotten gay, dude. Vice has gotten fucking.
Well, some of it, okay. So,
Some of it's still good. Some of it's still
you
good. But
gotta,
some
you gotta look further.
Yeah.
Some of it is like a little too
Yeah.
angled. But like I watched one.
too angled. It's like radical political like
Yeah,
propaganda.
Yeah, dude, when I was in middle school, I watched, I'm pretty sure it was a Vice documentary. Dude, they were in Africa.
Wait, is this about fucking what's his name? General Butt Naked.
I have no idea, dude.
Okay,
I was
okay.
I barely knew what was going on. I was in middle school and just watching the documentary, and they were they were showing Africans rubbing shit on their teeth. And they were like, yeah, this is how like they brush their teeth.
What?
And dude, I went into middle school the next day and I told everyone, and they were like, no fucking.
They're
They were
like, Johnny's just racist. You're like, no, I
yeah.
swear to God.
Dude, the black kids were pissed, man. I told fucking everyone. And I was like, dude, it makes sense, man. Like you got like corn in your shit. Like there's a bunch of nutrients. And from that moment on, everyone rolled with it.
Johnny just
They-
goes up to his black friends with shit in his mouth. He's like, what's up, boys? How's it going? I know your culture now. You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Everyone told everyone that like black people brush their teeth with their own shit.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough one to get out.
I still can't find the documentary to the
That's so funny, dude. Dude, they the one about General Butt Naked's crazy. So like Liberia, they had some crazy civil war there. And there was this dude who what he would do was he would fight completely naked with like child soldiers, which
shit.
I mean sus. But he's also like he would like drink the blood of kids and like murder all these people. But he converted and now he's like a respectable guy and he's like, I never
Jeez.
want my country to like go to war like that. Which is tough because you wonder, you're like, could Adolf Hitler have changed?
Yeah, dude, it's a good fucking correlation.
Because everybody loves to go like they're like, oh no, he was just a sociopath. But it's like I think some sociopaths maybe they can't change at all, but I think some people are like,
Yeah.
I think some people could. I mean, obviously doesn't. We're not like, oh, he's changed. It's not like he's gonna be working at like fucking Barnes and Noble,
sure.
and you're like, no, he's a different guy now. Like you still be
Yeah.
held responsible for fucking war crimes. But it is interesting to think about like, could somebody change their mind? and
Yeah,
all that
definitely.
stuff?
I think definitely. I mean, you see all these people that are like reform neo-Nazis or like fucking I mean, even in more basic things like people that used to be like radical political people, you know what I mean? Like they do change their thoughts and ways after a while.
But some people are just they're radical no matter what, though. Some people
Yeah,
are-
oh, yeah, some
Some
people
people
are
are they're,
cra-
they're like
crazy.
radical left and then they go radical right. And you're
Yeah.
like find the middle ground.
It's
and
kind of crazy to come back from a genocide, though, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's a hard.
Well, that was
comeback.
this guy. He's like, I am the leader of the church now. I listen to the Bible. This
Yeah.
is what I do. And they're like, we watched you eat a baby alive.
Yeah.
But people are like, but also it's like one of those things too, where it's like, I think in some countries where it's so war torn, that could be a like it's like
a small mark on the record. You mean?
yeah, you're like everybody's like, all right, last week we fucking murdered people with machetes. All of us did.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's less like, I don't know. I mean, I would be pretty mad, but because there were people that were on the opposing side. They're like, there's people at this church who he for sure killed their family.
Yeah.
And they're still like, we like General Butt Naked.
That's
Like we
fucking
respect
wild,
him.
man.
Yeah.
That's wild. Religion has to do something with it, dude, for sure.
What do you mean?
Like they
Oh,
have
it makes
to be.
people totally crazy.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
They have to be.
Well, what he said is he's like, I saw Jesus, and then he told me like to stop
No
drinking the blood
atheist.
of
No
babies.
atheist is gonna be like, that's fine. You killed my whole family. That's cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
forgiveness. Like,
Yeah,
that dude's gonna turn into fucking John Wick, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's also the crazy part. It's like I do think like obviously Christianity could lead to crazy stuff, but like that's a pretty good adjust. Like either way, yes, maybe this guy should have been murdered or killed
Yeah.
or executed. But you're also like, it's good that he's turned into this, and now he's like, there's people who are opposing sides of the war, and he's like, now they're following his church, and he's like trying to create peace. You're like,
Yeah.
that is a positive force, and people probably listen to him more because of what he's done.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Some people, I think they have a thing against religion where like, I don't want to go because I want to be judged. But this guy's like, I ate a man's scrotum. And you're
Yeah.
like, all right, that sounds...
Dude, anytime, this is going to sound fucked up. Like, I'm all for religion, but anytime I see someone with like a fucking cross and like a bunch of religious shit, you know, like they carry around a Bible with them, the first thing I ask myself is like, what happened to this person?
yeah.
That is, I could speak. I know people that are like lunatic alcoholics or whatever, just crazy people, then found God. And for some people, it's been fine for them, but other people, it's just a new addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Some
No.
people use it as an excuse.
Of course.
Oh, it's a great way to get out of things. You're like, yeah, sure, I fucking... You know, maybe I fucked my brother's wife. Maybe
Yeah.
I did this and that, but that's changed. Now it's different, guys. Can we put that behind us? And you're like, dude, come on. You
Yeah,
fucked all
dude,
the-
there are super hot chicks out there from like New Jersey who are like, yeah, I gave him a Blumpkin, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Jesus forgives. Dude. You know what I mean? They always like put up posts and shit where they're like about forgiveness after they just went to like an orgy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I
also,
guess-
I don't think God cares, but it is funny to think about Jesus watching you get a Blumpkin. Just like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
did I do wrong to this
Yeah.
person's now? A Blumpkin has to...
What kind of woman would suck a dude's dick while they're taking a shit?
I
Don't
think
get me
I-
wrong. I know
Mm.
there's some out there, but it's like, who would do that?
I think a really loving woman. I think it's kind of a beautiful thing. I
Yeah.
think it's a level of... It is... I don't know. I would get a Blumpkin. You wouldn't get a Blumpkin?
I think it's something you do like once a year, maybe.
Yeah. On my birthday.
I just wouldn't-
You got like a little... what's it called? Like a... what are those Burger King hats on? And you just got your legs in the air like this.
That's what I'm saying. I just wouldn't think to do it, you know?
I mean, dude, if you can get a boner while taking a shit, like you're a
I
legend.
get a lot of them.
all
I get
the
a lot
time,
of boners
dude.
taking
All the
Really?
fucking
Yeah.
time.
While you're shitting,
All the time.
or like during the during
All
a
the
break,
time.
Yeah.
while shit's coming
All
out.
the time. Dude, my dick is so hot in the morning that I'm serious. It's so hot in the morning that I have to sit down to piss most days because I can't put it down to get into my toilet, dude.
Yeah.
That's how hot my dick is in the morning.
Yeah, and that's when I take shits. That's why I'm hard.
So
when I
you're
take
telling me
shits.
you're fully erect when shit's coming out of your ass?
Usually
Yeah,
I
sometimes,
piss.
yeah.
I usually don't shit in the morning, but yeah, I've taken shits with bonus.
Jesus, dude, you're like a legend then.
Yeah.
You're from another
It is
dimension.
kind of gay, I will say that, because things coming out of your ass that's dick shaped. But that's probably why it would feel good to like shit the second you're coming.
I'm telling you, dude, he's probably a part of like the 1% that can do that.
What?
That's insane. To be erect and take a shit, dude.
You could do it.
No way, dude.
Like,
Dude,
I
maybe
think
you
it's
couldn't do
capable.
it, but people
taking a
could.
shit, dude, that nothing makes my dick softer than taking a shit.
Well, it does. It retract kind of in. I think there's something when you press down, it kind of pulls out. Like it pulls. It takes the force out of your
Yeah.
penis because
I've read some articles where it's like if you're trying to last longer, just press down. You know what I'm saying?
Just take a shit. Just while you're fucking her, just take a fucking big old dump. You won't come, dude.
Yeah, that is so risky, dude. To like push out while you're having sex, just to last longer.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I'm wondering is like, I don't know, dude. One girl offered me a Blumpkin when I was like in middle school. We met these girls at Universal Studios. And I feel like such a nerd. I was like, what's a Blumpkin? And then I was like, fuck, dude, she's going to think I'm a fucking pussy. I don't even know what a Blumpkin is.
Yeah.
I'm sure she was just fucking around with her friends.
She offered you a Blumpkin?
But we were texting because it was like we met at like Universal. And then we were like 14 and they were like 17. And I think they were 18. So
That's
I was like,
crazy
This
in
girl
general.
like texted 14-year-olds like, I'll suck your dick while you're shitting, which is insane.
Yeah, I feel like if a girl offers you,
But
a
she's like, I
Blumpkin-
was kidding. I was
That
like,
girl's a legend.
She's probably kidding, but I'm like, that's also a crazy thing to text a child.
You know how many guys would look up to you, dude, if you got a Blumpkin?
Oh my god, the whole world.
Yeah.
That is so respectable.
Maybe I'll do it one day. I don't know. But for right now, I don't really have an aspiration to do it.
It is one of those things like you have to really, you either
Because I
know,
just
know
rather
the
get
person.
head on my bed, dude, or like on my couch.
Yeah, I think it's just something to do to say that you did.
Yeah, of course.
It's
it
not
is.
like a secretive thing.
By the way, for
It's
listeners who don't know, it's when you. We already explained it. You get a blowjob while you're taking a shit, and there might be one guy out there who's lost. But I think if you listen to Morning Good podcast, you know what a Blumpkin is.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
That was like probably the original
Besides
funny.
my family members that listen to this podcast.
It was probably the original funny Urban Dictionary term.
Yeah,
I think people do like crazier shit. To be honest,
I like a
kinky
frosty
stuff.
gym. So you pee in a condom and freeze it and then use it on a girl.
Why
Nobody's
would you
doing
do,
any of
Why
these.
would you do that?
I don't
Use
use it as a dildo. Yeah, yeah.
Jesus
Because you want to
Christ,
last
dude.
long. No, I have no idea.
Does piss freeze?
Yeah, it's water basically. Maybe it's like liquor. It's just so powerful it doesn't freeze.
Yeah.
Then there's the Jamaican bobsled's the best.
What one's that?
So you do a doggy at the top of a staircase, and then you. I guess this is
push
rape.
her down the
I guess it's
stairs?
just rape, but
Yeah.
you knock the person out, and then you hold their arms like this and ride. There's something nobody would ever actually do.
Yeah, it's like, who is it who like gave it these names, dude?
Well, that is very funny. In like a police trial, they're like, "Sir, did you give her a Jamaican bobsled?" You know that's illegal in the state of New Jersey.
That is what Singapore Highway. That was like where you put like PVC pipe in a girl's asshole and then just roll like Hot Wheels cars into the fucking. But I remember my buddy told me that in school one time, and I like had a stroke. I was laughing so hard.
Oh, they're so funny. Yeah, those things are great.
Yeah.
We do have to start wrapping up. though.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to promote?
At it's Ryan O'Toole, ITS Ryan O'Toole on everything. I put all my shit on there, so just fucking follow me there.
Oh yeah, dude. Just promote the Johnny Salami podcast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
it's,
dude.
it's hilarious.
Thanks,
Great,
dude.
it's a great
very
show.
good
Shout out
podcast.
the Johnny Salami podcast, dude.
Yeah. Thank you.